We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Merry Christmas! It's the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. Jon, we are in our 25th episode.
Fourth.
I was right?
24th.
So I was right.
Yeah.
It's 24th episode.
Yep.
Of our third year, and it's Christmas time. I think you are, this is like not, you're wearing the same sweater as last year.
Well, but to be fair, I've only worn it once last year.
Yeah, but everybody saw you.
Well, only the
And
really diehard.
I didn't wear this. Briggs wore this last year, so I technically have not worn this.
Well, maybe I'll switch it for the last segment.
So, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's been 3 years of our show. We're wrapping up this end of the year of 2022.
Yeah, technically this is our last episode of the year. Is that right?
Right.
Right.
Right, Joel? You should see them behind the cameras, too.
Which means the next episode, you and Briggs are going to be on an adventure.
We are. We're going to be on safari at Masai Mara in Kenya with Lucinda Green and Sarah Broussard.
Yes.
So we are super excited. We leave January 2nd. We go to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Nairobi, Nairobi to Masai Mara, Masai Mara to lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh, my.
Oh, there's no bears over there, is there?
I don't know, but we can go with it.
All right.
That's fine. So before we get into things with the show and what we got coming up, because it's a pretty cool show, I think, for Christmas, make sure, I just want to remind everybody, YouTube, Facebook, podcast players.
iHeart, Spotify.
Yeah, go out there, check it out. We did put out in, I think it was 2 shows ago, for people to say Godfather Thoroughbred.
Right.
And if they did, we would randomly pick somebody for a t-shirt.
And guess what?
And we found somebody. So we have B. Holtzclaw.
B. Holtzclaw.
Technically, B. Holtzclaw 7935 said The Godfather, and also great interviews, which is why she won.
Well, the cool thing about this is I haven't seen B in probably a long time. She was a groom at a hunter jumper barn in Atlanta years and years ago. And to the Godfather part, she had a thoroughbred that went in the hunters all those many years ago. That was a really cool jumper. So congratulations, B. I'm so glad you won the t-shirt. We'll get it out to you right away, and we'll make sure we get her address.
Yes, so B, contact us, or we'll try to get a hold of you. And
I actually can get her because she's a friend on Facebook.
And then I'll have my people send you a t-shirt.
Thanks, that's me.
The other thing I want to just mention is we've got a great advertising from Jenna Rose Ortmeyer, which is what is it? Dusty Rose Rose Farm, and she's been advertising on the show the last couple episodes for stalls.
Right.
And I know the winter season is coming up here now, and so anybody who needs some stalls, I think she still has a few left.
So do we have? What do they do to contact her?
Will they stay through to the commercial break and check out Jenna Rose's ad, and then they can get a hold of her that way? Or
I'm sure glad this is the last show of 2022 because you're getting testy.
I'm not. I'm going to get you her number right now.
Okay. So while you're doing that.
I got it. So you can get a hold of her at 636.
Go slow.
636 751 1200.
Very good.
And that way you can get some stalls from Jenna Rose. And the other thing that's really exciting is we have a new advertiser, which is Magnolia Sands.
Wow.
And they've got an awesome new ad that was beautifully narrated, if I do say so myself. So we'll have to check out that ad because they've got some cool cross-country schooling. I was just over there. And
well, that is very cool. I have to. How far is that from like here?
It's really close. It's like over.
People can't see you pointing.
They can, if they're watching on YouTube and Facebook, they can. It's over sort of on 301, 441 near like where Clayton and Mike Huber and those guys are.
Okay, very
Denise
cool.
Rath.
Yeah.
So great cross-country schooling facility. We're so lucky here. We got so many of them.
Well,
so you just got back from a trip.
I did. We just got back from England, but while this is fresh in my mind.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
So talking about new season.
Yes.
Right. Talk about getting on the road. We're going a lot of places.
Oh, yeah,
We're
good job.
taking our horses.
Good job.
You know, Horse Trailer Pros would really be the best place for you to take your trailers right now through the first of the year to get ready to be on the road.
Yep.
Because Horse Trailer Pros is our title sponsor.
Yeah, and it is amazing.
And it's an amazing horse trailer.
And it's amazing how you think you had your trailer serviced, and then you have that first blowout, and you look and go, "Whoa, that was actually 2 years ago."
I know it goes fast because
Yeah.
you're like, well, no, I did the wheel bearings, I did the this, I did the that, and you know, got to get them in. We have fortunately have like 4 horse trailers. So
Right. Yeah, no, that's fortunate. That's fortunate.
but anyway, so let's go to where I was.
Yeah, so you had like a little pre-Christmas trip
Yes.
over to the UK,
Yeah.
and it was like a family trip. So who all went?
So myself, my husband Briggs,
Yeah.
and my daughter Elisa
Yeah.
Wallace, and then we had the owners, majority owners of the Let It Be Lee horse that was sold. I sent them a text saying we're going to England because Elisa didn't get a horse on the first trip that she went, and I said, why don't y'all come with us? They said we'd love to go. And so it was pretty quick. We put it all together. We went to Marlborough, where we like to stay, and we stay in what I call the Ball and Chain, which is really the Castle and Ball.
Right.
But it's a cool pub. But Elisa does a really good job of putting everything together. We're going horse shopping because she sold Lee. We had to find something to replace it.
Right.
And we went, and it was snow on the ground. It was cold. It wasn't ideal to try horses because every place.
Well, but at least you know how they're going to deal.
Well, but it's hard. The ground's frozen.
Oh, good point.
You know, can't ride, ground's frozen.
Well, if you went to Aston La Walls, that ground would be all right because it's all that synthetic.
It is, and we went there twice. We tried the one ultimately that we purchased, I didn't have any purchasing part, the Biggs and Rosemarie Spillane
Right.
bought, and it's a really cool mare called Lissa Vera Quality,
Right.
which is by Obos Quality.
Yep.
And then it goes on a clover leaf dam side.
Right.
It's really well bred with Lux B. I think it's
Right.
just
So proper Irish breeding.
proper horse, just amazing.
And I saw the videos. It's a pretty nice horse.
Yeah, I saw her. It was weird. I guess it's not weird. I saw her like I saw the Kaz, the Rincon Corsair horse, which we'll talk about that one in a second. 'Cause
Yep.
We're going to talk about the list.
Yep.
When I saw her on the trailer, and Elisa had already tried her on her first trip, but it was her second choice. When I saw her on the trailer, I was like,
That's the one.
that's it.
Right.
She's just top quality, just everything you see about her. But anyway, we're excited. We had fun. Elisa unfortunately got sick on the trip, so she didn't have so much fun. But we had a great time.
Good.
We
That's
went and did things, and I saw a windmill. We went and pulled up to the windmill and took pictures, and just
I
spontaneous.
saw that on Facebook.
Just spontaneous.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, "Where are you going?" I was like, "There's a windmill."
You've got to be impossible to travel with.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Poor Briggs.
No, he loves it. He goes, "Can you just drop me off here? I want to just walk in the field with the pheasant."
Okay, you know what? You're both impossible. I don't think I could cope. I'd be like, no.
I don't think
we have to get there now.
Oh, you would not have fun with us. You might loosen up.
Maybe.
So it was a great trip, and she's got a great mare coming, and we're excited because just a year ago is when we bought the Rincon Corsair, the syndicate,
Right.
with Vicky Sukup, Sharon Sines, Betsy Smith, Vicky and Steve Sukup,
Which is exciting, that horse, because
and Val, because he and Elisa made the development list for the USEF.
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's super.
to
I
Elisa.
think we should read the list.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
You think
got
so? All right. While I'm doing that, you talk.
You're doing a great job. Keep it going.
Well, I think what happened was I lost it.
No, really. Mm-hmm. See, this is what I'm talking about.
That's okay.
This is what I'm
I can
talking
go
about
through memory, but
is
I can't because
you
I just got to
don't-
pull this back up.
You don't prepare. And
Well,
then
I don't know if that's the truth.
when I count on you to be prepared, then this is what happens.
This
And
is how fast it
why
was.
you can't.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Yep. So the list put out December 12th, 2022 at 5 p.m. by the USEF.
Okay, we don't need to be this specific.
Well,
but-
I'm just being that because we have Graeme Thom here soon. But,
Okay.
so he's a very specific guy.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Will Coleman, Good for him. Gin Tonic. I'm not going to list. Well, Gin Tonic and Don Dante. Buck Davidson on Carlevo. Philip Dutton on Sea of Clouds. Pretty cool. That's a thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Liz Holliday Sharp. She made it with 2 horses on the pre. This is the pre-elite list. Cooley, Quicksilver, Mix Master C, and then she has 2 on the development list, which is Cooley Nutcracker and Shanro Cooley. Then Boyd Martin with the Tester Leg TSF, Chicaner, owned by the Turners. And then we go down to the development list. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Here we go. Hit
James Alliston on Nemesis. Cornelia Dorr.
Yeah.
She's been on the show.
That's right.
On Daytona Beach 8. She did that great showing at Burley. Mia Farley, who couldn't love Mia Farley.
Mia Farley's pretty great.
And on a horse named Phelps, which is owned by somebody we know.
Yep.
And then BGS Firecracker, which is her cool mare.
Yep.
Then we have, and I apologize, I don't think I know her, Jillian Beal King.
Beal?
Beal.
Yeah, okay.
On Rebellion.
Yep.
Allie Knowles on Mooreswood. Caroline Martin on the HSH Blake, the really cool young horse that she was at the Lee Leon on.
Good job.
And another one named Redfield Champion. Andrew McConnon on Fairies CeeLo. Alexander O'Neill.
Yeah. Go Alex.
On one of his own, right? Red Tail is their horses, right?
Yeah, they breed those.
Yep.
Him and
Do
Ellie.
you know how to say that horse's name?
Penumbra. Yep.
Alyssa Phillips, Cornelius Bowe and Oscar, Jenny Carras Roberts on Summersby, Caitlin Stillman on Luska Canada Clover, and Elisa Wallace on Rincon Corsair.
Boom. That's awesome.
That's good.
That's great. That's exciting for Elisa. Well deserved. Well earned. More
Well
than deserved. Well earned.
The last time she was on the list was 2016.
Jen always says to me, nothing in horses is deserved, it's earned. And I think that's perfect.
That's pretty well said.
Yeah, Elisa has earned it. So all those people earned it.
Every single one of
Congratulations to
them earned it, and it's great. And so we're just hoping that everybody else that are out there trying is going to make a list one day. And if you don't, then you just move along. Look, you have the llama sweater on. I just noticed.
Yeah, Briggs is behind the camera in the llama
Can
sweater.
you come and show everybody real quick?
All right, come in here, Briggs.
here.
See the llama. And I like the hat, Danny. You look more like a gnome in that hat. There we go.
Llama.
That's pretty great.
Good job.
We have to keep a straight face with that behind the camera.
Well, moving on. Let's go to the second
Segment?
segment.
Yeah,
That's it.
so we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back with the new USEF FEI. I'm going to try to get this right. Hold
Why
on.
don't you have it up? Why don't you have it ready?
Because I wasn't,
I don't
you know what? Because
understand.
I was unprepared. The USEF Director of FEI High Performance Sport Programs, Graeme Thom. So he's a great guy. We're excited to have him on. We'll be with Graeme in about a minute and a half. Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, it's Jon here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Your cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Dusty Rose Farm, a beautiful and newly renovated 25-acre farm, is offering long-term or seasonal rent, dry stalls, and layout. Located in Anthony, Florida, it's just 30 minutes to both Weck and Hits, 15 minutes to Majestic Oaks, 35 minutes to the Florida Horse Park. 38 stalls available for rent in 2 barns that have all the amenities. Large stalls with new mats and automatic waters. Plenty of turnout, a half-mile irrigated track, 300 by 300 natural sand arena with a full jump course and dressage court. Loads of parking with 2 full RV hookups. Call or text for rates to book your stay in sunny and warm Ocala, Florida. 636-751-1200. I'm John Holling. We run Holling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm in Ocala, Florida. We run a full-service training facility here at Holling Eventing. We have amateur clients, we have sale horses, we teach lessons, and obviously our own competition horses as well. When Kurt first arrived at the farm, he was a little bit nervous and excited. Stress Less really helped so we could get him in a training routine. Stress Less is really easy to use. It's a part of our program. He gets it as a daily supplement and it helps us keep him focused and ready to go to work. This year we're moving Kurt up to the preliminary level. He's been doing great and I'm very excited about the season to come. I'm John Holling and I'd recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants to help their horses stay calm and focused. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are here in our Stress Less segment and very excited to be joined by the one and only Graeme Thom. Graeme, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure to be here.
And so I want to make sure I get this right. I have it pulled up here. You are the newly appointed Director of FEI High Performance and Sport Programs.
Correct.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, and
It's a lot of words.
I keep messing it up. So basically you're like the guy in charge of all of the Olympic disciplines. Is that about right?
Yes, right now Olympic and non-Olympic. So as it says, all FEI.
Oh, okay.
See,
So
there's only one Olympics every 4 years, John.
Right,
so
but there's also
Olympic,
disciplines.
para, and then the 4 others.
Okay, so
So-
Olympic, para, and do you know the 4 others?
Driving, vaulting, endurance,
You're gonna test them.
Vaulting,
and endurance.
driving, and endurance.
So that's 7.
Okay, perfect.
There used to be raining, but it's not anymore.
Right, but it's not anymore. All right. Well,
Can
that's
you-
a lot to do.
Yeah, that is a lot to do.
It is busy. It's busier than I expected.
So, I mean, the Paralympics, like at the Olympics, then it's like the Olympics go on and then the Paralympics. So it's like
Generally, there's a break, and it comes in about 2 weeks after.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So there is a break to
Yeah.
reassess and do
I think
stuff.
in Tokyo they had 2 weeks
Do
between.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
So, like you said, there's a lot to do. So what, I mean, obviously, how long have you been in the position now?
57 days.
How many hours?
Do we include this?
Yes, yeah.
Another 20 minutes.
All right, perfect. So what's been the biggest surprise with the position?
I think the biggest surprise is definitely the scope of the United States Equestrian Federation. It is big. It is, every nation is different.
Right.
Every nation has different budgets. They have different depth of programs. With 27 or 28 breeds and disciplines and everything in the USEF, you end up with 150 staff members, a big, large office in Kentucky, in Lexington, and a lot more to do, and a lot more reporting lines, a lot more committees, a lot more structure.
Got it.
And that growth has happened over, of course, the last 20 years. It just kept on getting bigger and bigger and more scope to it. So looking at other countries, are we one of the biggest then? Or the biggest as far as...
I don't know. I don't know all the federations, like the bigger, broader things. I'm just a little guy that came out of eventing and was a chef to keep for a couple of teams. So
Right.
I don't know that, but I would say that I would think the British would be the largest, US would be equal or second, and then after that I know the French have a large operation, and then I think you probably dip down a tier and then another tier again below that, where you would get to the New Zealand, Canadas and stuff.
So,
Not all nations run all 7 disciplines at the FEI level,
right.
so then things reduce.
Right.
So when you stepped in 57 days and 20 minutes ago, what I can only imagine sitting down and going, wow, you know, Was there?
Might have been a what WTF moment.
What did I do?
Did you get one of those, pre-con, post-con notebooks that said, here's what you do and how you do it? Or?
No, I actually was better than that. Will Connell, who was in the position before me, was fantastic at being helpful and integrating, and all the staff have been great too. I mean, they've been patient. I think I can sense the odd eye roll, but they've all been wonderful. Will, in particular, spent a lot of time with me, ran through a lot of things, and as you know, he's been doing the role I'm in now for, I think, close to 20 years.
Right.
He was with the Brits before, and then with the US for, I think, 8 years. I mean, he's a legend in this role. And so I was really, I spent hours with him.
Well, that's good. That's always good when you come in for something, because I can only imagine.
In horse sport, you typically get really bad turnover in transitions.
Right.
You usually have one person well out of the door and down the road and a distant memory, and then you go and hire the next person, and you have an absolute sort of awkward mess for a good 6 months to a year.
So
hopefully I won't be the awkward mess.
Well, and Will is such a professional. I mean, I came in and was on the sport committee and came up as, got the position as chair of the sport committee at the end of Will's tenure. And he was great. He kept everything organized and straight, and if you ever had any questions, he was on it. So I would imagine he would be super helpful. He's military, so he would be quite structured.
Mm-hmm. Very chain of command, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, he was just a workaholic too. I mean, he in the office at 7 every day for the whole tenure, and I think he worked right up to the very last minute on the very last day when he was there. So
That always helps with the transition.
Yeah. And he's gone off now and started a logistics company of his own to help other nations prepare who wouldn't have the breadth of staff and everything.
So he's going to be the competition.
So
forget it. I'm not saying anything else nice about him.
Logistical, when you say that, logistical for countries.
Should we give a plug to Will's new
No,
company?
no.
I will. Hill and Brook Inc.
So logistics, for those out there listening and watching, logistics meaning for a country that might need help putting everything together to get to where they're going on any kind of team thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, the breadth of the role is essentially logistics. It's oversight of the discipline managing directors
Right.
And their teams. So they put their programs together. The budgeting comes through my role with help from others in finance. Then it gets sent down to the discipline. They then put their programs together based on budgets. And they run them, and then it reports back into my position. And on top of that, there's games readiness, dealing with the USOPC, and games readiness is everything from flights, horses, humans, accommodation, budgeting for major games, etc.
It's huge.
And everything else
Right.
that goes with it, yeah.
So you were I think this is always interesting to me.
Now, I did a lot of that with New Zealand, but on a smaller scale, obviously, because I was only dealing with one discipline. But with New Zealand's help in the Southern Hemisphere, I would do a lot of, or work with them, very, very hands-on with budgeting, very, very hands-on with games preparation, et cetera.
Right, I mean, yeah, to get everybody where they're supposed to be and able to compete. And I was actually reading the press release when you had resigned from New Zealand and how the riders were super appreciative of how, you had everything handled so they could just do their job.
Yeah, I paid them to say that.
Yeah, perfect, good job. That was part of the severance package.
Yeah, I gave them all a cut, and they said that.
One way to do it.
So you were just at the eventing meeting at USCF.
I should just add one more thing
Yeah, no.
with the whole role. Once the games start, you have to be willing to do everything right down to, put ice in the bins
Yeah.
and things like that. I mean, it does get down to that level, because once the games start, you're in it and you're knee deep in it, so you do everything.
Right, and that seems
So
to
it's
just be
not just
horsemen.
high level.
Right.
It's all the way down to the dirt level.
Yeah.
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 It seems to be that way with most people in any horse sport, doesn't it? It's, you get there and you just everybody jumps in.
It's because the pay is so good.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm sure. I know mine is. So you were just at the U.S. Eventing Committee meeting. We've got, I know, end of January, the USEF meeting. How many of these, do you have to go to every disciplines?
No, I don't. I go to a lot of things now because I'm meeting so many new faces.
Right.
So I've attended all the sport committee meetings. I've attended most of the affiliate conventions, but that's not something I'll keep doing.
Right, okay, so it's just to sort of get the lay of the land type thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've never been to an affiliate meeting in my life before this year.
Even an eventing one?
Even an eventing one.
Wow.
I think I went to one in Canada. I've never been to an FEI convention ever.
Are you going to the one in Paris?
No.
No, smart man.
Well, I mean, the one in Paris I thought would be good. I had planned initially to go with you.
Right.
And then I did a little bit more work on what the actual venue visit was going to be.
Right, which is later in the year, isn't it?
Well, no, there's one in January.
Yes, but then
But
big
it's a 2-hour
one.
walk. So I would prefer to do the one later.
Yeah, I feel like
go in March when there might not be snow covering the ground.
That might be a good idea. I
could've
just
had a
got back
snowball
from
fight.
England,
Would've been
actually.
great.
No, you're going, and Amber who's the managing director of eventing, is going to be going with you.
Yep, we just got that all finalized today. So let's do this. Let's take a break, and then I want to come back, and we want to rewind a little bit and hear all about how you got your start in eventing and in horses. So,
Oh, that's impressive.
Thank
That's
you,
gonna be great.
Stress Less, for being this segment sponsor. We appreciate it. Everybody out there, if you need a calming for your horse, something in training at home, try Stress Less.
I'm Gabby Ruane, and I run Ruane Eventing. I run my program out of Reddick, Florida. I start off in the morning bringing the horses in, feeding, and then tacking up and riding pretty much all day. It's always a busy day here with multiple horses in training. When Mufasa first arrived, he was quite sensitive and reactive as a young horse. I decided to start him on Stress Less. I've tried quite a few other supplements and I felt like they all dulled him. Stress Less was the first supplement that really let me get through his tough moments, but I felt like he could still keep that spark that made him special. Stress Less helps keep Mufasa calm but responsive even through his tough moments. When Mufasa first arrived, he was quite reactive and sensitive, and I needed something to help me get him through those tough moments. Mufasa began his career as an event horse last year, and this year I hope to move him up to the preliminary level and then end the year with a 2-star long. I'm Gabby Ruane, and I would recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants their horse more focused and rideable overall.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. I would only take another person on the other side and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Rick Wallace here, bringing you Equibrew, a live probiotic that is geared to help your horse's gut health. I'm a true believer in this Equibrew, and it really makes a difference in all of my horses. Equibrew is safe, non-toxic, and clean sport compliant for FEI and racing events. Equibrew is an intact fermentation product with very high numbers of beneficial microbes. Order at equibrew.com or 850-879-2649. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're still here with Graeme Thom, and we're going to talk a little bit more on a personal level for how you got involved in the horses, because we always like to know that, and how you get to this position with the USEF. Jon has like a whole list. It's like one of those naughty or nice lists that he wanted to go through with you.
yeah, no, for sure. So, so Graeme, I remember you when I was working for Peter Gray.
In Canada.
In Canada, yep. And I'm always interested in this because I just remember you being a very successful businessman, and you had an awesome horse named Arrow, right?
I had a few nice horses.
Okay,
Yep.
Arrow's the one I remember.
Yep.
And I remember him because, one, he was an incredible jumper, and two, he had an amazing tail. He had a big poofy tail.
That was Count.
Was that Count? Oh, I'm
just
mixing them
combined your
together.
horses.
That's right. It was a long time
It's
ago.
all right. No.
All right. So we have Count and Arrow. So take us back. What How old were you when you really started getting into horse sport?
I wasn't young. I was actually in my early 20s when I started riding as an amateur. Just went out one day, rode, and the following week was riding 5 days a week.
Wow.
Some might say that lends it to like some sort of like a compulsive type behavior.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It was, and so I fell in love with the sport right away. I got busy at work and didn't really ride again until I was almost 30. And then went down and met Bruce Davidson, bought a horse from him.
Which one was that?
The horse's name was Irish Luck, and it was a nice big thoroughbred that had gone advanced. And all I wanted to do was go preliminary. And then Bruce kind of looked at me and said, "What are you doing here then?"
Sounds like Bruce, we were just talking.
And then it's funny, I ended up at Gladstone about 2-3 weeks ago and spent some time with Will. And Gladstone is such a wonderful spot, but it brought back these memories of my very first 3-day long format at a 1-star, and poor Irish Luck passed away at that competition. My very first one.
That's a tough start.
That is a tough start.
So that wasn't the ideal start. Next thing I knew, I was on a plane. I mean, it was very upsetting. On a plane to the UK, bought a couple more horses over there with Bruce, and then just kept going. And I trained with Bruce for about a dozen years.
And
ended up in Florida. Ended up going advanced, ended up going to Blenheim and falling off. There's a good picture of me running behind my horse in my boots and across that last water, the long stretch across the water.
I know what that looks like.
That's a long run.
That's a long run.
Back in the day before David O'Connor ruined everything and you could get back on a horse after
And
you
keep
fell
going,
off,
right?
yeah.
Well, he used to fall in water all the time, David, and I'll even tell David this, and they used to give him the water award. It was like a floaty with the big swan on it that he had to wear at Rocking Horse one time when he was riding with Wilton Fair. But a shout out to Bruce. Heard from him yesterday. He's doing great. And Bruce, I hope you're feeling better. Hang in there and happy holidays.
Hey, Bruce, this is all because of you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, buddy. So which horse was that at Blenheim then?
That was Arrow.
Okay.
That was Arrow, yeah.
So that was sort of the last big one that you had?
Yeah, I sort of, I was in business for a long time, and there's a few things that I've really botched. One is trading real estate, and 2 was buying all the horses of the same age. So,
right.
So they all ended up.
I
mean, it was great. I for amateurs, what I did was, and you could do it back then. Prices were different, so it's a little harder now. But buying a horse a level above where you are was something I always did and something Bruce encouraged. So we did that, and I generally bought them 2 levels above. So when I was going prelim, I was buying advanced horses that you could find and afford to buy.
Right.
And then it was great because you just move up the ladder so quickly.
It gets tough when you want to ride advanced though, because there's what do you buy then? A Grand Prix horse, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but it was. I just remember you always had, and I guess this is a credit to Bruce from the sounds of it, you always had incredible horses.
Yeah, he picked every one of them.
Yeah.
He picked every one of them.
What was your last year competing?
Oh, it was a long time ago. I don't think I've sat on a horse for a good almost 15 years. So it would have been around, I think I competed last around 2003, 2004. And then I was going to go and reload. And I really, at that point, prices had jumped like crazy. And I just didn't think I was capable enough to go buy a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds and
Start from there.
So then I got asked, and David came knocking and said, would you come to Canada and work with me with Canada? So I became chef to keep with Canada around 2006-07, and he was the coach. And we did that I did it for about 8 years, I guess.
And that's a great segue because I obviously know that story pretty well because Jen was a part of that whole high performance team as well. And I think it's safe to say the pinnacle was the World Championships in Kentucky in 2010, right?
Yes. 2010 we won silver. We definitely, it was great. Everybody rode well. I think we were one of the first nations ever to have 6 clear cross-country rounds of all team members. And certainly we had what I like to describe as OPM, which is other people's misfortune,
Right.
which you always need, really, and you're always going to get it in this sport. So
I have to remember
we
that.
had some really fantastic performances from all of the athletes, and a little bit of misfortune by others, and we came out with a silver.
So I remember Mark Phillips one time said he never won a competition that he didn't expect to win going in. So when you went to and he did, and now it sounds arrogant when he says it
my
that way.
fellow Canadians, but no, I don't know if that was quite the case.
This is
for us
going to be
in
our question, because his
2010.
point was like he lost competitions he expected to win, but he never surprise won anything. Was his point, because he always knew if they had a great horse, he was going to have a great performance. So I guess you've already answered the question, which is when you went in there, what were the expectations for Canada?
Oh, I think the expectations were top 6 would have been spectacular.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I remember walking up the ramp at Kentucky after we'd won silver and just looking at David and David looking at me, and we went, that's pretty good.
You did it.
And again, I'm not taking away from the athletes. They did what they had to do, and 6 clear cross-country
Yeah.
rounds at a world championship
It's
was
pretty awesome.
impressive, really impressive.
Which I think is still the case now, like looking back at just this most recent World Championships in Protoni. Obviously, the U.S. had the great performance there and finished in silver. And it really came down to cross-country there as well.
Well, it came down to cross-country and it came down to show
Show
jumping.
jump.
I mean, for sure, you wouldn't have thought that the #1 rider in the world at the time,
We'd have 3 rounds.
4, I
Or-
think.
yeah.
Yeah, 4 rails. So.
Yeah, why would you say that?
But,
He's right. It's show jump too. It was very
But show
pivotal.
jumping, the show jumping round was, I think it was a real harbinger, I think, for what we're going to see going forward, because cross country has certainly taken a softer point of view. It's still influential, of course, but we all know it's a little bit softer than it was 10 years ago. But the show jumping design at Protoni was, I think, impressive, and I think it was more than most people had ever seen before at an eventing championship.
I did hear that it was gigantic
Yeah.
and technical.
Yeah.
I guess my point really is that, yes, Michael lost the competition with his rails at the end, but there was a lot of people who had poles down in the show jumping, so it kind of leveled it there, and I still felt like cross country was.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean,
far as the team goes.
yeah, I know what you're saying. There's more penalty points awarded in cross country, so you can't afford to make mistakes there still.
Right.
And if you do, certainly Laura Collette coming down the hill and having a run out was a surprise, and that
Huge.
that wasn't the only factor, but
Right.
Yeah, and that
No,
didn't
I know
seem
what
like
you're
it was
saying.
going to be, like when I watched that in the beginning, I was like, just fine. You just go down the hill, and it's steep, and then there's 2 jumps right in front of you, and these horses should all jump it. And
Sure,
they
John,
just,
saying it from the sofa
absolutely,
of
from
your
watching it on
house.
TV. And then they just didn't jump it well, did they? It just didn't, it almost
the
seemed
ground
like,
got really torn up
Right.
as the day went on, really torn up, and I don't know whether that was the factor or what, but.
I know, it's old school, slide down the hill and jump. I mean, that's like old school. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember they had that jump at Foxhall. Remember?
yep,
Right.
Oh, yeah, but there was a blip halfway down
And there
that
was,
one.
well, there was a bounce right at the very top, and you actually had to just sort of peek off and bounce it, and then you got screaming down to the bottom, and some people sort of kept going out into the infield and turn around and come back, but
Right.
it was me.
Yeah. I remember that slide very well.
Down the slide.
Well, Rick, why don't we take a break?
Sure.
And then we're going to come back, make Graeme stick around one more segment here so that
I'm sure we can keep him here.
Yeah, we're going to let him take the hat to the Christmas party after. So let's take a quick break, and
To keep the hat.
Yeah, sure. That's yours.
we'll be back. Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them. Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com. Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Dusty Rose Farm, a beautiful and newly renovated 25-acre farm, is offering long-term or seasonal rent, dry stalls, and layout support. Located in Anthony, Florida, it's just 30 minutes to both Weck and Hits, 15 minutes to Majestic Oaks, 35 minutes to the Florida Horse Park. 38 stalls available for rent in 2 barns that have all the amenities. Large stalls with new mats and automatic waters. Plenty of turnout, a half-mile irrigated track, 300 by 300 natural sand arena with a full jump course and dressage court. Loads of parking with 2 full RV hookups. Call or text for rates to book your stay in sunny and warm Ocala, Florida. 636-751-1200. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we're thrilled that we're still here with Graeme Thom. So, Graeme, we've been in the last segment talking about your time with Canada and the huge success you had at the World Championships there. So then there was a transition and you moved on to New Zealand, and I don't remember, how long was that time in between those?
Just a year. I left Canada. And in 2015, actually, I was able to work with the organizing committee of the Pan American Games in Canada and helped manage the cross-country venue.
That was at Jeff and
Morgan's place,
right?
Yeah, which is literally 4 minutes from my house, so that was easy and a lot of fun. And Craig Collins, who was the overall head of the OC, built out Palgrave there, where the show jumping and dressage was, did a fantastic job. So then, actually, I think it was then that I spoke to Sir Mark Todd, about a possible position with New Zealand down the road. There was nothing at the time. Eric was there. And then in 2017, the position opened up, and they rang me, and I enthusiastically applied for the job and got it, and spent 5 years with them.
And there was a little bit, if I remember, if I don't get too personal, there was a little bit of a blip when you first took it because you had...
That's rather personal.
Is it? should we skip that one?
No, that's fine. No, so
there was a blip because of your back.
Well, I just recently had back surgery, and then I flew from North America to England back to North America to New Zealand back to North America, and then I did another back and forth to Europe, all in 3 weeks. And the new expression is sitting is the new smoking. And so doing that in 3 weeks with a recent back surgery put me flat out for a while. And I thought, well, I can't do this with all the travel. Right. And then I went to some great physiotherapists, or I went back to some great physiotherapists that are here in Ocala. And we worked on it, and we gave it a go, and we sorted it out. So yeah, I had a little bit of a blip at about the 1 month mark, but we sorted it.
That had to be, I mean, I would think not only stressful because of your back, but just stressful like, oh my gosh, this was going to be a really cool, fun opportunity to get to do that, and then to have that sort of thrown up in the air.
I was in so much pain, I didn't care about the job.
I was just about to say, there's nothing worse than back pain. I mean, that really can knock you out.
No, but it was good that it worked out, and I got in with the team, and I didn't know all the riders at all before, and it was just getting to know them took some time, but it's a very clean operation in the sense that because it's split in 2 hemispheres, the poor people at the USEF have heard me tell this story too much, and it's almost like I don't even want to refer to New Zealand. I talk about my former job, but the New Zealand experience was so terrific. And look, every team does it differently. Canada, we did it one way. We had committees. We had a high performance committee. The USCF has committees. They have a great depth of really quality staff that run each discipline. In New Zealand, when I was there was myself, a high performance director in New Zealand, and chief admin who did everything, Warwick Allen. And then in the UK, it was just the riders. So my high performance committee was the athletes, was the riders.
Right. So it was very small, not a lot of bureaucracy.
But when you look at the numbers, really, New Zealand had not dissimilar numbers at the high performance level that a lot of nations would have. You know, you look at Germany, you can count 10 quickly. Now the only one that's different is the UK, where you can go down forever, and they can put together, you know, four Olympic teams.
Sure.
And so I would just meet with the riders. I was very hands-on and went to all the training sessions when I was over there. Jackie Green was a fantastic, you know, I don't want to say assistant, but she was a fantastic person to lean on to help organize everything over there. And then it was, we had good, amazing staff, great coaches and everything, but it all reported into me. And it was just, you just met with people. They shared their views on building out the year. And
it got done.
And it got done. And there you are.
And so how many team competitions did you end up going to with New Zealand then?
I only went to 2 big ones because they don't do the Europeans.
Right.
They were allowed into the Europeans years ago, and then they won it. And then it was no longer an open competition.
They ruined it for everyone.
There's no longer a draw.
I don't know if that was related or not, but I think so.
Sorry, you're not invited
So I
back.
went to 2018 WEG, where we squeaked into a qualifying position and then I went to the 2021 Tokyo and 2020 Tokyo in 2021.
Right.
And then we did a bunch of Nations Cups, and obviously I went to all the big 5 stars and everything, and I think it has nothing to do with me, but I think in that time period, New Zealand won more 5 stars, certainly more per capita than anybody else, but I think they won about 4.
Graeme, take the credit.
Yeah, it was all me. Tim, you're welcome.
There you go.
Janelle, you're welcome.
So that kind of they're incredible. I mean, we watch the prices go everywhere, and they're pretty awesome. So with that being said, now you're coming kind of full circle back where you were with Canada and you and David. So y'all, have you interacted yet on stuff, or is that coming in the future? And are you excited to be...
So you mean coming back with David being on the...
with the USEF.
Sure. I was going to say, because Canada and US are separate countries. Just so
thanks.
You know. Okay.
I meant back to where they're...
Still.
Yeah.
They're working together on
but our rules are not that hands-on. Like
so there's no... crossover.
Well, yeah, and as I say, like my role with New Zealand, my role with Canada is not my role with the USCF.
I absolutely understand
So I've sort of taken one step away. Now I had both feet in the competition arena with those 2 other countries, and I hope to be able to have at least one foot in
somewhere.
The USCF. but there's a whole team in each of the Olympic disciplines for sure that manage not only the high performance sport, but the programs all the way through, from emerging through development, through pre-elite and elite. So they're all quite similar.
It's big.
Yeah, it is big. And there's a lot, when you get down to those emerging and development, you work closely with Leslie Law and everything. I mean, there's a lot to do.
Sure.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, it is like you were saying, it is a big operation through the USEF, and I only know the eventing side of it. I'm sure the jumping side and the dressage side and endurance, they all have their own pipelines and channels, and it's a lot to do.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And see how all the different disciplines manage things. And I mean, the athletes are different in each of the disciplines, and I haven't met them all, that's for sure.
Well, I'm excited for 2023 with what's happening, and I mean, for all of USA, for everything. So I think it's going to be... 2023 is a Pan Am game year.
Right.
So
do we have any guarantees for the Pan Ams, Graeme?
Yeah, every team's going to medal, both team and individual, for sure.
Gold.
There we go.
Guaranteed, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with predicting that, is there?
That's right.
No. So
guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yeah.
And so you're going to guarantee, so every team gets a gold medal for the team.
Yeah.
We get the gold medal individual?
Yep.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so what about silver and bronze?
No, we could
well,
have
in the individuals, I don't think, you see, in the Pan Ams, you can't win all 3. They don't let you.
That sounds like an excuse.
Yeah,
to be
well,
honest.
we have to go to the FEI and change the rules, but you can't win all 3 medals in individual. In fact, there was one nation that did that.
Really?
And they had to take it away from some poor person.
So they
It
can't,
was-
wait, they can't win. So explain that again.
in the Pan American Games, you cannot have one country win all 3 individual medals.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
So what do they
I'm
do?
holding to
No,
it,
you're
but
100% accurate.
And
I
so
know
what
you
is, so that one,
Yeah.
that one is a drop
so
score.
that poor person who won bronze
Bronze.
gets booted into 4th and goes home with nothing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I happen to know that. For
And that's
sure.
an FEI rule?
I don't know if it's FEI. I think
you need to go
It
and-
might be a
Pan Am.
pike. It might be a pike.
This
rule.
could be your first thing.
Yeah, I think that's a pike rule.
This could be your first thing. Get this done.
But joking aside about the guarantees and everything, I think that the U.S. is really poised right now to do some great things over the next few years because the support is there, both financially and
the depth's there.
ideologically from the federation itself, and the quality of the people
I agree with
managing
that.
disciplines right through the piece, Olympic and non-Olympic, is really high end.
I agree with that.
Awesome.
Do you agree with that?
I totally agree. I think everybody agrees. Graeme has predicted a clean sweep at the Pan American Games and has taken full responsibility for it, that it will be because of him. So Graeme, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, and I hope to be invited back afterwards.
You will
Absolutely.
when he's got that prediction done.
That's right.
And you'll have the
Absolutely.
new car here, right?
Yes, for sure. All right, Graeme,
got a
thank you very
Kubota.
much.
All right, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks very much.
And thank you guys for watching. We're going to be right
Right
back
back.
with.
And if we lose, I have to wear that sweater.
Yep. I'm gonna give it to you for the party tonight, actually.
All right, we'll be back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
I'm John Holling. We run Holling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm in Ocala, Florida. We run a full-service training facility here at Holling Eventing. We have amateur clients, we have sale horses, we teach lessons, and obviously our own competition horses as well. When Kurt first arrived at the farm, he was a little bit nervous and excited. Stress Less really helped so we could get him in a training routine. Stress Less is really easy to use. It's a part of our program. He gets it as a daily supplement and it helps us keep him focused and ready to go to work. This year we're moving Kurt up to the preliminary level. He's been doing great and I'm very excited about the season to come. I'm John Holling and I'd recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants to help their horses stay calm and focused.
Rick Wallace here, bringing you Equibrew, a live probiotic that is geared to help your horse's gut health. I'm a true believer in this Equibrew, and it really makes a difference in all of my horses. Equibrew is safe, non-toxic, and clean sport compliant for FEI and racing events. Equibrew is an intact fermentation product with very high numbers of beneficial microbes. Order at equibrew.com or 850-879-2649. Merry Christmas! We're in our 5th segment of our 24th episode. It's Christmas. I said it coming in, I'm saying it going out. And I'm going to say this to you, John, real quick. Thanks, Horse Trailer Pros, for being title sponsor of this great show of ours. We appreciate it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And this is the 3rd year, Mr. Producer, that I want to say to you, I always wanted this episode to be just a reflection of the year and to talk about things that we did and have flash ups and just build up. And every time I say it, you go, that's stupid. We're not doing that.
That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
That's not what I said. That's what I thought. But what I said was, no, I think we should have Graeme on. He'd be great.
Well, I think Graham's great. But
Yes.
don't you think next year, Joel, in our 4th season, for the 24th episode, that we can do a flashback for 4 years?
That takes a lot of planning.
Joel will be good. His baby will be almost a year and a half old. He'll be fine.
Oh man, you're putting us on the spot. What I would say is we'll
Why
take
am I
that.
putting us on the spot? You think people are going to go back to this episode next year and say, look what you said you're going to do and you didn't do it?
We'll put it into consideration.
Who's we?
The committee.
You're like the USEF.
The committee.
Which is another point I want to make.
Hey, hold on. I have a real concern here. Is this going to be all this microphone? Is it going to be scratchy? What do we think?
Come, Joel, come see.
Should be all right.
It should be all right.
Did it get flipped around?
Look at his hat. Dink.
Okay.
Should be okay.
Okay.
All right.
So were you just trying to throw me off?
Yeah. No. Did it work?
No, because I want to tell everybody else out there, he's my really good friend, right? We have
Getting
a
to be less good, apparently.
we have shows together. We've known each other for a very long time. And I'm going to say something to everybody listening, the USEF, the FEI, the USEA, everybody. This man can keep a secret. Doesn't matter what you tell him. If you tell him it's a secret, he keeps it.
It's probably because I forgot.
No. You're like a top secret. Top secret can't say anything. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, well,
I think that's a good quality.
thank you.
Kind of, unless you're best friends with somebody.
And then I want to know.
But anyway, just wanted to make that point.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
So
you.
have I thrown you off on everything you wanted to do?
I'm really flustered now. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I think what we should do is in the comments, we should get some feedback from people as to what they think of the Christmas show, the holiday show, and if they have some suggestions, then we would take those into the committee.
Yes. So what you need to say is Rick is right, Jon is wrong.
No, I think what they need to say is this was an incredible show. Graeme was a great guest.
I believe
it was
all
the
that.
perfect balance of holiday festivities and hard-nose hitting interviews.
Oh,
talking
I
about
like that, hard-nose hitting.
Yeah, right. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm telling you, that on all seriousness, 2022 is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And we've had ups and downs and good times and bad times. And, it's just we're lucky to be here. And I'm lucky to be here with you, Joel, and Briggs. And we do this fun show.
Yeah, well, the feeling is mutual. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm actually thinking we should do that here and say how great it is. You're absolutely right, because you're abandoning us for the New Year's show.
I know. That's going to be fun. So I think did we talk about that?
We did.
But we're going. But we'll maybe, as Joel, our partner and producer, said, they probably have internet out there. You can just send in some stuff. And if they, for by chance, are somehow on a giraffe's top of his head, he's got some kind of antenna.
Oh, you could hook a camera up on his head.
Can you imagine me I'll get some clips of me and Lucinda and Briggs.
You have to. I mean, I feel like, I'm going to be honest here, because, I am. I feel like the chances that you're going to actually get us video footage of stuff that's going to be used for the show is 5 to 10%.
I'm getting a GoPro.
Oh, sweet. You're going to helmet cam it like your daughter. All right.
We're going to GoPro it. So I'm just
Can
going
you
to have the
please
GoPro
get
on.
pictures of him with a helmet cam on Safari?
Don't you think that's a good idea? I
think it's a great idea.
GoPro, put it on, and then
You know what? I have one.
Oh, let me use yours.
Yeah, you can have it.
Great.
Yeah, all right. Remind me. I'll get
All
that
right,
for
we'll
you.
do it. Do we have to have Alec Lahore or anybody
No, it
check?
has to be approved. Yeah, Alec, we need to get approval for the helmet cam for Rick. I know. We'll make sure it breaks off
Or
safely.
Andrew Temkin. He could probably. He doesn't like them though.
Right.
Alec, you can get through a little bit, but this is what they do all the time. And guys, I love you. I know you're in for safety. You know what I feel about this camera.
Right. You should video them with the camera on when you do it.
That's another good idea.
Yeah.
Let's come up with ideas for 2023, and that's a good one. We're going to do that.
Yeah, I want you to helmet cam, getting permission to use the helmet cam.
So I'll do some reflection of 2022.
Okay.
Talking about the FEI.
Yes.
And all the challenges that Briggs had with his ring bit that was then custom made into a walrus bit. We have gotten word that is now being pictured by the FEI as a legal cross-country bit, the walrus.
You should have called it the Briggs.
That's already like a lawnmower.
That's the Briggs and Stratton.
I like it the walrus.
I mean, but okay.
Why are we having this debate now?
I don't know. It just came to me now.
Well,
just sometimes my great ideas come.
you
late.
know what it would be like to change the name of something with the FEI?
Well,
It's
you'd
like
have to pay a change
$1,000.
fee. Yeah, you'd have to pay a change fee for sure. That's, you know what, in all seriousness, that's a pretty big accomplishment. Well done, you guys both, for, well, especially Briggs, for getting that done. Because I have seen them out there. And funny enough, I saw one, I don't know who had it, but it was somebody like when I see Briggs in it or Lisa in it, I'm like, okay, that's really cool. But I saw somebody who had one that was not, I'm sure they were peripherally connected to you guys, but like they were like, that looked like a cool bit that they were using, and they used it, and it worked.
Well, was it the ring bit?
No. I saw one that had a ring bit and show jumping.
And you can use a ring bit, just so people know, you can use the ring bit nationally,
Right.
but not FEI.
Right.
And so in show jump, it's used a lot.
Right.
And again, for people listening and not knowing what we're talking about, the ring bit was used by a lot of thoroughbreds. Kentucky Derby winner last year used it. It keeps them from lugging and gives you more control and steering.
Right. Do you think I could use it in dressage? Because I've got one that could use it there.
You probably could. You'll get eliminated, but
Right.
because you can do your bit check after you're done.
Right.
Because they'll never notice.
I saw
the
a
ring.
meme today that showed a fork in the road, and it said, "You are free to make your choice, but not free from the consequences." So I could use it in dressage, but then I wouldn't be able to
and
jump.
let's talk about that a little bit. Why do they say, you can check your bit when you come out? And then you go in thinking you have, it's fine. You come back out and you go, oh, nope, illegal.
Well, I don't know that that's fair. Does that happen a lot?
All the time.
Well, then you should know what tack you're wearing. It's your option. You can get it checked before.
Are you on that committee?
No,
Then why are you doing like that?
because it's the way I feel. I have my own opinions. I'm a man.
Well, this is what you typically would do is, no, I want you to check it
Right.
before I go. And they
Yes.
go, no, we'll check it when you get back.
Oh, see, I've never had that.
Then they go, oh.
Maybe, did you ever think perhaps it's the tone that you use? It's not what you say, but how
Look,
you say it.
I do know this. This I do know. My tone at horse shows are way better than a guy named John Hollings.
No, that's untrue.
That is true.
Untrue. Untrue. I'm a peach at the horse shows. Yeah, so there you go.
No, anyway, it is the truth. And in all seriousness, now they're going to say that. I would say to people out there when they say you can get it checked when you come out, if you're not sure, I mean, absolutely sure, get it checked. And number two, if you're not sure and you don't want to have to stop to get your bit checked, then I would have the ground jury and the TDs look at your dressage bit, whatever bit it is, before you go to competition. That way you know it's
Yeah,
if there's any
for sure.
question.
That's what I tell my kids
Any
all the
question,
time. Many of my
go
students.
ask, because they are kind. They do try to do
Yep.
service. They try to help you out. They try to look to see what you got. So take it to them first and go from there.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. No, it's good advice.
know.
All right, so I'm getting wound up for Christmas. I'm super excited about my Christmas dinner, and we're gonna make a big beef tenderloin, and it's gonna be awesome. Is that what you guys are doing? Yeah, it's the way to go.
Oh, that.
Pot roast.
Yep.
You guys are doing pot
Rib-
roast.
Wait, say it louder.
Say it
so
louder so
people-
we can hear.
Ribeye roast.
Ribeye roast. Ooh, that's even better because then it has the bone in it. Yeah. See, mine's gonna be tenderloin because it's easy for me to cook, to be honest.
Well, I'm excited about the present that I got for him, so it's going to be very cool. So we'll have to report back at the show when I get back. But I think
I'm
you're
going.
going to have.
I'm going shopping after this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're serious?
Right after this, I'm going shopping.
Where are you going?
I'm not sure yet.
They're all closed.
No, they're not. It's gonna be great.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
happy
Christmas.
2022 and departing, and happy 2023 coming on.
That's right. We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.